So after the last battle of losing almost nothing, what I decided to do is let everybody between 12 and 1300. My units are going to lose about 700, total 18 or 1588 for the entire army. So yeah, really good battle. I'm very happy with this. One thing to pay attention to is the charge at the end. The way I want you to see, a lot of people struggle with charges, and I like to have about 10 to 1 when I charge. I like to have the attacking units, and then behind those are supporting units giving fire into the melee. And I always want to have at least 2 melee units for every 1 enemy unit, at least. And I also like to prep any attack with artillery, specifically canister if I get it, but lots of artillery before my units charge at all, so the enemy morale is terrible. And you'll see that. So you'll see a bunch of 10 to 1 charges and melee attacks, and greater, yeah, throughout the campaign. This is just one of them. So, yeah, the enemy can be very aggressive here. So first thing I do is save my artillery and set up a line, and then let the artillery detach skirmishers chip away at the enemy, roll up the artillery and let them get good canister fire. The enemy on every opening phase will be very, very aggressive, hyper aggressive, and you have to take that aggressiveness out of them. They'll also be fast. I coined the term roller skates. So they're moving on roller skates when they first show up. They're super fast, faster than your units can be under any conditions. I don't know how that happens. There's some kind of a mechanic that allows them to move at an incredible speed. But moving at that speed also burns up their condition. So eventually they run out of condition and morale, and then they're fragile. Once you break their morale a few times, you see the white flashing symbol, and then you see them routing. Yeah, and the important thing is just stay out of melee, and I'll have my units fall back. Your most valuable key is the F key. Click on your unit, hit F, it'll fall back. Stay out of melee. The T button is also a great hotkey to detach and reattach skirmishers. So, yeah, I'm just going to pick the enemy apart. This is real easy on Brigadier General. Harder, much harder on higher levels, but very easy. I'm going to drive him back into the corner and destroy him. So, yeah. Keep in mind that the 2 toughest battles of the Union campaign, in my opinion, are Gaines's Mill and Malvern Hill. So we're basically getting ready for that. For those 2 battles, you can bring a max of 30 units. I don't think there's any reason to have more than 30 units before Malvern Hill. So, yeah, you can bring 20 units in your first corps, so you have to have enough perks under army organization to be able to do that. I think that's 6 perks, but we'll see when we go to camp. I think it's 6 perks, so not a big deal, and that's all you need, and then that's all you need for several battles after that as well. For Malvern Hill, it's 15 units in 15. Now, the interesting thing is, in both battles, you're not going to probably be able to bring in and engage with 30 units. It's something more like 25. So if you don't have 30 units by the time you get there, it doesn't matter, because as you'll see, there will be several units in both battles who just come in so late they don't do anything, and that's true of both battles. So, I mean, I guess they can guard the rear or guard. The enemy will always try to sneak someone around to steal a victory location. So, yeah, the last guys who come in might be good for securing the victory location to the rear to make sure it doesn't fall into enemy hands by, a very tiny broken up unit. I've had the enemy sneak around an artillery unit, very tiny artillery unit that had been torn apart, and there was very little left of it. And he snuck around in the Battle of Antietam and tried to take Dunker Church to the rear of my army. So, yeah, that didn't work very well. I had a couple cav units just run back and wipe him out. But the enemy will always try to do that. There's just something, he'll make some kind of a wild dash for victory locations, particularly at the end of the battle. So anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of this, and then I'll see you in camp as we get ready for the first of the big 2 battles for the north. And then once we get past those big 2 battles, the rest of the campaign is actually very easy and all downhill. So we're getting a really good army built, and the Union Army just becomes a killing machine. And over the next couple of battles, our army is going to do nothing but get really deadlier, more experience, and everything after Malvern Hill is pretty much a cakewalk. So anyway, we have to get ready for the 2 big battles coming up after this one, and I'll see you in camp. Thanks.